Some things just go together. Wine and cheese, flowers in springtime, and yes, books and bottles. We pair your favorite author with your favorite drink. Your host of Books and Bottles, Benita Johnson.
Hi, welcome to Books and Bottles. I'm your host, Benita Johnson. This is the show where we introduce you to your favorite author, his or her work, and we pair it with wine. I can't even talk today, y'all. So the background is a little bit different. I am at my Washington, D.C. home. I'm not at Hill Prince Bar today. But y'all still support when you're in DC, 1337 H Street Northeast. But 'tis the season, colds, flu, and of course COVID. Y'all stay safe out there. So thank you again for tuning in. We invite you to share this podcast. If this is your first time with us, welcome. You're going to be very excited to meet our upcoming author. If you've been with us before, we really appreciate you coming back. So as I told y'all before, a lot of times I'm on social media and I'm just out there looking for new talent and looking for people who just inspire me, and I want to talk to them and have them on the show. So this time is no different. I met a lady, and this is perfect timing because we're going into the holiday season, and sometimes we spend a little bit too much money by, no, that's not everybody, but certainly I do. So this lady wrote a book called Writing Checks Your Ass Can't Catch: Debt Elimination in the Savings Workbook. So I'd like to introduce you to Talva.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, first I have to say something. I am so impressed with the branding. You ladies are doing it. So I held up the book. I didn't hold up the bag that the book came with the name. I'm wearing the shirt. I would raise my leg up and show you the socks that you sent me. And then a little bit later, I'm going to show them the box of stuff that you sent me. Y'all are just doing it. So I appreciate all the love that you're putting into your packaging.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're liking it. I love the shirt on you. That looks good. Thank you.
Yes, I said I'm wearing the shirt for the show. So, Tell us about you. Who is Talva the author?
Oh my goodness. Talva the author is a serial entrepreneur. I probably came out of the womb with an entrepreneurial spirit. My father, my mother, all of them are in their own rights are entrepreneurs. But I started my writing journey back in 2013. I was at the right place at the right time, alone a lot for work. I traveled a lot, and I was in a lot of remote places that gave me the time and space needed to finally write a book, which was something that I had been wanting to do for a very, very long time. So I was finally in the right space and place to do that.
Very nice. So the book that we're going to talk about today, as I mentioned, is about helping us with our debt, yes. And hopefully lead into savings. And also the other book you gave me, we'll talk about that too. But with the books that you write, I'm sure you've written others. Are they all really into kind of self-help?
No, I have a variety of books. I have, so this is a debt reduction savings workbook. I have a dream journal. I have a children's book collection that I also wrote a sing-along song for. It's a whole custom set, 6 booklets and coloring book, created all of that. I also have an X-rated adult book. That is a story. And then I have another more geared towards adult writing, but it is a story about a young lady that goes through trials and tribulations. So my writing is, vast and different genres, different types of books. When I feel the urge, I just write what comes to me.
Okay, so we got to get you back on the show in February, and maybe even get you to Richmond for our February 4-play wine crawl. So we'll put a pin in that about that adult book that you wrote.
All right.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in California. I'm in
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, let's jump into the book. So, what made you want to write a book that help deals with our money problem?
Oh my goodness, because we need it so much, especially in our community, and what really pushed me to do it is one of my good friends, shout out to him, Sam Murray. He was like, I've always been really, really good with being disciplined with saving money and being financially conscious. So he actually put a bug in my ear one day and was like, you should write a book about, you write books, you should write a book about teaching people how to save money. And so I was like, that's a great idea. And I did it. I just started researching and gathering all the information and turned it into a self-help workbook for adults.
Yeah. And you know what caught my eye at the very beginning of this book? I know
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like, we feel like we don't have a lot of money,
Yeah,
and, and we try to do everything ourselves because we feel like we don't have the money to pay other people to do it.
sure.
And you said in here, rich people buy time, they pay people to do the things that they could very well do themselves, but they don't want to do them themselves. They like to, um, pay somebody else their wage or required salary to do that work. And that's what I believe. Back in the day, we had a president in the 80s, Ron Reagan, who talked about trickle down economics. That's the real trickle down to me. Pay people what they ask for to do, what they get paid to do, so you can free me up to do. I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah. And listen, I'm learning it too. I learned it. I'm practicing it and getting better and better at it. But it's so true. Rich people pay people, and rich people pay you for your time, and poor people sell their time.
Yeah.
That's how I
And
go.
what I like about your book too is, like, you get a lot of books. Like, it's not a very thick book, but
Sure.
it's about 60 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot of pages for a workbook.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of books that just have, something at the top, and then you got a whole lot. You take your readers, or the people who get this book, you take them through an entire financial exercise. So
Yes.
do you have a background in finance, or, what was your journey to get here?
I do not have a background in finance, and my journey to get there was just life lessons. I came from very, very humble beginnings. I was a young single mother, and those experiences for me taught me how to be savvy, financially stable, fiscally fit, and how to manage my money. And just along the way, as I matured, I started seeking knowledge and information about investing and things of that nature, but I don't have a financial background. A lot of these are life lessons that I've learned, that I realize that I'm really good at. So I felt like, let me share it with other people who need help.
So, what do you say to a person like me? Because at the very beginning of this book, you have about 7 or 8 pages that's called the debt tracker. Now, if I had to write down, when I write down stuff, which is a part of the reason I don't write this, because they terrorize me, right? It's just too much stuff. So you got like 7 or 8, girl, listen, if I had this much debt, I'm going to throw this book away. But, how do you get a person like, I say like me, but, who you're intimidated and you're afraid to get started. I think that's probably a big reason we don't get started. It's fear. Because once we face it, it looks overwhelming.
Yes. So you're not the Lone Ranger. I've had people reach out to me for those exact same reason. They've received the book or took a while to purchase the book, and then they've gotten the book and they're like, I'm intimidated. I'm scared. You have to take a hard look in the mirror. And I tell everybody, this journey is not a journey, and it's not a time for you to be fake and phony with yourself. To thine own self be true. You have to be true with yourself first to even begin to move forward with your goal. And you have to keep your goal in mind. And obviously you want to get out of debt. You want to start saving money and get on the opposite end of being in debt, right? So it does take, it does take a person to take a hard look at themselves in the mirror and get real with yourself. You just have to get real with yourself. And I would advise anybody that has fear, to take small bites so that you can have the small wins. And before you know it, each little win and each little bite that you take, you'll look back and realize you've gone miles ahead of all the fear that you were, that was keeping you from starting in the first place.
Yes. Okay, you have a section called necessary versus discretionary spending. Break that down for me.
Yeah, so when you're trying to get out of debt, you want to focus on or only spend your money on things that are necessary. What does it take for you to live? Food, clothing, and shelter. And sometimes that's hard to do because we see other people around us having fun and going on excursions or buying clothes or buying certain cars. It's not your time yet. You have to know when it's your time to start doing those things. So if it's not necessary and you are trying to stop the bleeding of your own financial ruin, you have to cut out the extra spending. You have to, and you just have to focus on what's necessary. I need to eat, I need somewhere to live, and I need some clothes. And it doesn't need to be the fancy, name brand clothes at this moment. You may get there, it'll be greater later. But when you are in financial ruin and you want to stop the bleeding, you only need to spend what's necessary.
And that's so true. And we think about, I would guess that most of the people who spend the big dollars on items, they're not the wealthy people. I have a very good friend, and he has money, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but he's taught me just some really basic things, he loves good cologne like everybody else, and he has a few, sure. But he would buy a knockoff in a second, and swear to me it smells the same. And, I don't know if it does, but by the time he's finished telling me that it does, I believe him. But, he doesn't spend his money on, $500 and $600 bottles of cologne when he very well could, easily. But, sure. A person like me, well, I used to, I'm better now. But, right. But we would do that. And so I think it is kind of a, we need more people with the wealth to kind of educate that this isn't what we do. And that's why they have money.
Exactly. The old saying goes something like poor people scream, rich people yell, but wealthy people are quiet. And that will also resonate in your appearance a lot of times. Most people that's really not rich or well off, they spend their money, they're consumers. They spend their time, money, and energy in trying to look like they are rich. Mm-hmm. While the people that are actually rich and wealthy spend their time and energy investing to build more money. They're not concerned with how they look too much until it's necessary, right?
Yeah. And one of the wealthiest people I know, he passed away about a month ago. He drove a Jetta, never anything more expensive than a Jetta. Sure. That just wasn't where he put his money. So, I'm gonna need to take more lessons from you and those people whose bank accounts look like I want mine to look. So, do you do a workshop, for people who need your help with your work?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have classes that are listed on my website. If anyone is interested, you can certainly take that class. It's a 3-hour course that you can sit with me over Zoom, and we go through a lot of the stuff in this book. We go through some exercises and basically teaching you the strategies to, get out of debt and get on the other side of saving for your future. Yeah, I always tell people to make sure you're doing something today that your future self will thank you for. So we go through those things, and it's a mindset.
This book has, some really great information. Telling our those who are viewing or listening. At the end, you have challenges. You have the 52-week $2 savings challenge. So if you do it properly, you got $2,700 at the end of the year. Yes, you got the 30-day $600 challenge, the 12-month $1,800 challenge, the $5,000 challenge. You are presenting all of these wonderful ways for us to save money. And, it's like the one thing I've learned, when I save, when I look at the balance, because usually I just do it and I try not to even look at it, right? Mm-hmm. But when you look at it and it's a good number, oh, you're less likely to spend. It's like you don't want to spend that money. You know, if I got $100, I'm gonna spend 102.
Got you. But yeah, it's inspiring. Once you start the ball rolling, you get inspired, and you will start challenging yourself to save more. You know, it'll become a game for you to add more to it, and then you'll not want to take from it. You'll want to continue to add and add and add. So it will become a challenge in and of itself. You won't even need the book anymore. The book even has a me and my crew challenge, right? You and some of your friends or your guy friends can get together and challenge each other and keep each other on task and keep each other accountable to save.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Because you have at the end, we're out of debt, right? Sure. Now what? So now what? I mean, what do you think about, like, you have some groups that they get together, they do investing, they have investment clubs. Sometimes they do property. Do you do, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I've partaken in some of those investment groups as well. My biggest thing is, now that you're out of debt and you have this extra money to do something with, that's not necessarily the time to go ahead and splurge and spend it. Now you need to find ways to make the money work for you, right? So again, something today that your future self will thank you for. Invest that money in some accounts that are going to render you nice returns down the road.
And I like what you say at the very end of the book. You say, saving money is hard, but so is being broke. So choose your hard. Exactly. Being broke is hard. Yeah. So I want our folks to pick up this book, and we're going to talk about this box that you sent me in 1 second. But I have to introduce my new baby. I got a lot of babies, right? I birthed 3 kids, but I have babies. So typically we have a wine pro on this show, but I'm sorry, y'all. Today you got to put up with me. But this week I introduced my newest baby, Exclusive Red. Can y'all see? So Exclusive White now is about 5 years old. And Acosta Red is about 5 months old. Exclusive Red is about 5 days old. So it's a red blend sourced out of Lodi, California, Zinfandel, Syrah, and Merlot. And it is my baby. So I want to give a toast to my friends, my brothers, also on Indie TV, live from the cave. They will be starting a new show on WGN in Chicago. If you have cable, DVR, because it comes on pretty early in the morning, but DVR it so they can get the love, and we want to keep them on there. So kudos to Sean, Robert, Glenn, and Mel. And of course, their big boss, Miss Keisha. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. All right. All good stuff.
So I was telling folks, you send stuff. I had like a package. Yeah. So I got this beautiful box that you sent me. It was all nice and sealed. It's a book of lucid dreams. And so I didn't know what it was. So I opened the box, and it is a book inside of this cute little bag. Girl, you be doing it. And so this is the book of lucid dreams. So this is like, it's about dreams, but it could be like a dream journal, right? Tell us about this book.
Yeah, so I'm an actual lucid dreamer. So I started writing down my dreams when I wake up in the middle of the night. But the first half of the book are actually my real dreams, 12 dreams, 1 dream a month. And then the remaining of the book is teaching you how to become a lucid dreamer, if you're into the phenomenon, or if you are a lucid dreamer, how to tap into that even deeper. There's a decoder in there that teaches you what the different animals, elements, and actions are when you are dreaming, so you can actually decipher your dreams, after you have them. And then there's a sleep tracker in there to track your dreams if you want to really get into DILD, lucid dreaming, and wild lucid dreaming, and all that type of stuff. So what is lucid dreaming? Tell us what that is. Yeah. So lucid dreaming is actually being aware that you are dreaming when you are dreaming, and having the ability to alter your dreams. Also,
that is me, because I am very disconnected from the dream. I feel like I'm watching TV. Okay. And when I don't like it, I wake up. I was like, I don't want to see how this ends, so I'm just gonna wake up and then, So yeah, okay. And so I hear people always tell me, something wrong with you, because who can do that? But I know I'm dreaming, and none of this is real. So I'm just kind of watching. And sometimes I want to see what's gonna happen next, and I get mad when that 5:30 alarm, mess up this good episode that I'm about to watch. I mean, because it's usually when me and Michael Ealy about to hook up that I wake up. But
good pick too. Good pick, right?
Yeah.
So you are a lucid dreamer. Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
it sounds like you are.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know. I just thought it was just, I have a problem sleeping, and so I'm really never see. That's just what I thought. And so I do track my sleep as well. Like how much time and like what I did like that evening. Was I drinking? Did I eat late? I do try and pay attention to what went on, so I can know why I try and figure out why I drink this way. But I'm definitely gonna use your book.
Yeah,
and
it has
I got a pen. Girl, you sent me 2 pens. I can't find the other pen right now because I was working yesterday and I used it. But this pen got sparkles in it. So I just love your packaging. And as I mentioned, the socks, I can't lift my leg up so folks can see the socks. And if I could, I would. But we got socks and shirts and stuff. So how do people buy your books?
Yeah, so they can go onto my website. It's ttalba.com. Or my books are on Walmart. You can get them from Walmart. You can get them from Barnes & Noble. You can get them from Amazon. They're pretty much anywhere where books are sold. And if they're not, you can request them and they'll get them to you. But
okay, and folks can hook me up. I can connect them to you if they can't find you.
Oh,
but I love this conversation. I learned so much about my money. I'm going to do better with my money.
Okay. You will.
Yeah, and encourage others. And also, I'm going to be using this dream book because this is where I am right now.
Nice.
So I'm not as bad with my money as I play along, but I'm going to use this book.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the show. Thank you, but stick around. So if you're an author and you like to be on Books and Bottles, we invite you to send us an email at info@groseprod.com. We love to have you. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to hit ttalba.com and grab her books. They're amazing. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.